If bedtime feels more stressful than restful, you're definitely not alone. This is the Sleep Circle, where we test sleep tools, explore routines, and share what actually works. My name is Stephanie Hope. I am a certified sleep science coach, and today we are covering the best cooling mattresses. If you've been shopping for mattresses recently, you may have noticed that mattresses all seem to claim that they have some type of cooling properties to them. We have cooling gel, cooling foam, cooling covers, and basically any kind of cooling technology. At this point, if I had $1 for every time a mattress promised to keep me cool, I could buy another mattress. The problem is that most mattresses actually don't sleep cool. As somebody who sleeps warm and is, again, a certified sleep science coach, I have spent a lot of time learning and researching what contributes to overheating at night. And after testing the Bedding Aurora Luxe in my own home for the past several months, I wanted to compare it to a couple of other popular cooling mattresses and actually explain what makes one mattress cooler than the other. Because once you understand how cooling works, shopping for a cooling mattress becomes significantly easier. So let's talk about why some mattresses feel so hot. One thing I think that mattress companies don't explain very well is why some mattresses sleep hotter than others. It usually comes down to one simple thing. The heat has to go somewhere. While we sleep, our bodies are constantly producing heat. In fact, your core body temperature naturally drops throughout the night, basically through your sleep cycle. This is actually one of the signals that your brain receives to fall asleep faster. If your mattress traps heat instead of actually letting it escape, you might find yourself kicking off the sheets, rolling over all night long, and potentially sweating so much. And unfortunately, some mattress materials are just better at trapping heat than others. Traditional memory foam is a really good example of this. Memory foam is fantastic for pressure relief because it hugs your body and really provides a lot of support. But that close contouring that it creates makes it have less airflow than any other kind of mattress. So basically, your body heat can get trapped right where you're sleeping. But that close contouring means that there's less airflow around you. So your body heat can get trapped right where you're sleeping. That is why mattress companies have started experimenting with different types of cooling technologies. Some use gel-infused foam, which are designed to disperse heat a little bit better than traditional memory foam. Others use materials like graphite, copper, and charcoal infusions. These can help conduct heat away from your body while you're sleeping. You'll also see something called phase change materials, or PCM. These are specialty materials that absorb excess heat when you start warming up and then gradually release it as your body starts to cool down. Think of them as tiny temperature regulators inside your mattress. Then, of course, there are cooling fabrics, which are the ones people typically notice first. These fabrics are engineered to pull heat away from your body faster than other types of materials. So when you first lay down on your mattress, it actually feels cool rather than like room temperature. And finally, construction matters. Hybrid mattresses, which combine foam and individually wrapped coils, naturally allow for better airflow than all foam mattresses. This is because there are pockets of air inside the mattress so that the heat can escape. In my experience, the coolest mattress is the one that doesn't rely on just one of these features, but actually combines several of them. For the past several months, I have been testing the Bedding Aurora Luxe mattress, and the very first thing I noticed was something that happened before I even got on the mattress. When I went to touch the mattress, it actually did feel cool. And I'm not talking about just like marketing cool, but actually cool. This is because Bedding uses something called Glacioteex, which is a specialized cooling fabric that is designed to transfer the heat away from your body faster than traditional memory foam mattresses. Now, I do want to point something out here because I do think it's very important. A cool cover by itself does not necessarily mean that you're going to sleep cooler throughout the night. If the foam underneath traps all that body heat, eventually you're going to start to feel pretty warm. Thankfully though, that was not my experience with the Aurora Luxe. One of the biggest things that I noticed while testing the Aurora Luxe mattress is that it didn't necessarily stay like freezing or cool to the touch the entire night. It felt very temperature neutral. I never really felt like the heat was building up underneath me, and I certainly was not looking for the cool side of the pillow either. It sounds kind of boring to say, but the biggest compliment that I could give this mattress is that I found myself not thinking about temperature altogether. Like I was just able to sleep. Another thing that I really appreciated is that I never felt stuck. And if you're somebody who knows memory foam mattresses, then you know this feeling all too well. Sometimes you are sleeping on a mattress that feels like you are so deep into it that trying to move position feels like you're trying to crawl out of quicksand. But while I was testing the Aurora Luxe mattress, I didn't experience that. I found that it really contoured my body very lightly, but the individually wrapped coils underneath kept it kind of springy and supportive, so I could move around on the mattress without worrying about trying to crawl out of it. Also, that helps contribute to airflow. So instead of your body being completely surrounded by dense foam, there's more room for the heat to dissipate throughout the night. And if you sleep warm, you know how important that is. So how does it compare to a couple of popular cooling mattresses? Let's talk about the Saatva Classic. If you prefer a more traditional luxury style mattress, then you've definitely heard of the Saatva Classic. Instead of relying heavily on memory foam, Saatva uses a dual-coil system and pairs it with a breathable organic cotton cover and a Euro pillow top. Because it doesn't have that typical deep memory foam hug, it naturally sleeps cooler than many other foam mattresses. I believe this is a great choice if you're somebody who really likes to move a lot throughout the night and you want that support and springiness. That being said, I don't think that the cooling is the main selling point of this mattress. It sleeps cool because of its construction. The Aurora Luxe, on the other hand, feels like it was specifically designed for temperature regulation from the top to the bottom. Between the Glacioteex cover, the breathable hybrid design, and the overall feel of the mattress, I notice a stronger emphasis on sleeping cool throughout the night. The Helix Midnight Luxe is another mattress that always comes up when you are looking for a cooling mattress, especially if you're a side sleeper. It has more contouring than the Saatva Classic mattress does, and that's thanks to its memory foam comfort layers. But it does still incorporate coils underneath to promote better airflow. One thing that I think is nice about the Helix is that it offers an optional cooling cover upgrade, which also uses Glacioteex technology, and this helps create that cool to the touch feeling when you first get into the bed. If pressure relief is your top priority, especially around your shoulders and hips, the Helix mattress does a really good job at balancing contouring with breathability. Compared to the Aurora Luxe, I would think that it still sleeps a little bit cooler because it's very specific for cooling. My theory on this is that because the Helix mattress has a little bit more contouring thanks to like the memory foam, I imagine it's going to sleep slightly warmer than the Aurora Luxe, but this is just my opinion. I have not tested the Helix Midnight yet. So what would I actually look for in a cooling mattress? If you're shopping for a cooling mattress, this is what I would actually pay attention to. First, look for hybrid construction if possible. Remember that coils will naturally improve the airflow compared to just a traditional memory foam mattress. Second, pay attention to the cover material. A true cooling cover can make a world of difference in how the mattress feels when you first lay down. Third, and most importantly, don't assume that every mattress that you see labeled as cooling is actively regulating temperature. Many simply use gel-infused foams, which may help disperse heat initially, but they won't keep you cool throughout the night. And finally, remember, your mattress is only one piece of the puzzle. Think about your sheets, your comforter, your pajamas, your room temperature. It all matters. And yes, if a mattress is cool enough that it can disappear quietly into the night while I sleep cooler, then it is a significant improvement in my life. Hopefully this video makes those cooling claims that you see on mattresses a whole lot less confusing. If you've slept on any of these mattresses before, I would love to hear your experience in the comments below. My name is Stephanie Hope, and we are all about better sleep one night at a time. Subscribe to the Sleep Circle and sweet dreams. Bye!